Channels TV's Washington correspondent Maria Bird joins us now for more on this. Maria, a lot has happened. I know President Biden spoke last night about the box stopping at his table and how the timing of the withdrawal of U.S. troops would not have made a difference in Afghanistan. But how are Americans reacting to this?
You're exactly correct. I think yesterday's address was one that took many Americans by surprise, to be very honest. I think you have Americans that are obviously in support of the Afghan people and have been for 20 years now. And then you have those Americans who, quite honest, are concerned about the future of the U.S. as it relates to terrorism. We know that with the COVID-19 virus and the Delta variant, there's been a lot of talks around potential terrorist attacks and being aware of that as the American people. And so I think that is another side of the coin that people are concerned about, is that with the U.S. taking a very hard stand on this and removing itself so quickly from Afghanistan, that this could potentially lead to, leaving the country open for potential terrorist attacks. And so those are the two areas of concern that many Americans are approaching right now. And it will only be time will tell to see what will actually be the outcome once the U.S. has fully removed itself from Afghanistan.
You know, since then, the administration has focused on evacuations, but there are some who blame the administration for the messy process, basically. Has anyone in the administration acknowledged this?
Well, we have heard from Homeland Security in regards to this. We have heard from the State Department, and there have been very clear communications from them. We've also heard from the Department of Defense. The military has spoken out about this. But I think the biggest question is, and the administration has teetered around this concern, is those Afghan people who have been supporting the U.S. for almost 20 years now, as they've served as interpreters, or they've served as supportive intel to the U.S. military. And so what is happening to those individuals? We know that many of them have received special visas to come to the United States, but there are many others that are still in Afghanistan and have not been any leeway to see that they will eventually make it here.
So right now, with the Taliban in charge, does the Biden administration have any plans relating with the Taliban?
Right now, the Biden administration does not have any clear indications. All we have is what we've obviously heard from the Taliban, which is they're giving amnesty. They are not foreseeing any type of, conflict with the U.S. at this time. We also know that many embassies aside from the U.S. are temporarily closing down because there's not a lot of details from the Taliban as to what will really happen once they take full control, which we know that has happened very quickly. So at this time, I think it's going to be once the U.S. has removed its personnel, then we will see what will actually come of this, because there will probably be humanitarian efforts which will begin. And so I would not be surprised if in the coming weeks we don't see some sort of a, not reversal of action, but some sort of new actions being taken place to support the Afghan people.
And, speaking of the humanitarian action, the UN has warned that the country is on a brink of humanitarian catastrophe. And President Biden said last night that he was adamant that he wouldn't pass the Afghan war to a fifth U.S. president. Amid criticism, how have former U.S. presidents reacted, to the latest developments and the escalation of the conflict in Afghanistan?
Well, I think many of them took it with a grain of salt, to be very honest. We all know that he was vice president for President Obama, which was one of the presidents that inherited the Afghanistan war with the U.S. And so I think that they are not focusing on that as much. I don't expect to hear anyone to come out and say anything against what he said yesterday evening. It's really going to be, I think, at this time, how do we safely remove the military and how do we make the best decisions moving forward? And I think that's what you will probably hear many former presidents, if they at all speak on it, they will be counseling the president on how to make the best decisions moving forward.
And then, Maria, a lot to keep our eyes on. Thanks for bringing us up to speed.